Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video and would like to receive notification of my future video postings, please subscribe. In this video, I'm going to tell you a go-to dish that I always use when I in a bind. I need to add something to the menu. This dish, or the variations of it, goes back a long way into my childhood. I have a childhood friend, which I will call him Lee for the purpose of this video. He was my buddy for many years. I used to go to play in his house a lot after school, and quite often he would ask me to stay for dinner, and he would go to ask his mother, is it okay for Tak to stay for dinner? And his mother always say yes. I will call her Jane for the purpose of this video. She was a wonderful cook, and she always cooked something very interesting. I always enjoy eating in their house. One dish that I noticed that she always cook when I eat over their house is an egg dish. This is an egg dish is similar to the Fuyang egg dish that I have talked about earlier. Quite often it cooked with tomatoes, but she cook it with all different kinds of combinations. I really enjoy her egg dish, and Lee enjoyed it also as well. And once he told me, he said that she only cooked that egg dish when you comes to dinner. For many years, I don't understand why she only cooked that dish when I was at dinner in their house. Now I understand that very well. It is a very convenient addition to the dinner table. And now I use this approach quite often when I have extra guests that come without a lot of warning ahead of time. Let me give you an example which actually only happened very recently. During this period when our son was staying with us, he often have friends come to visit him, and quite most of the time it is unexpected. Just a couple of weeks ago, one of his friends called him that he and his fiancée and his cousin are on the way to the south for camping, and along the way they would like to stop by our house to see him. My son came ask me that would it be possible for them to stay for dinner? They're going to be here about an hour and a half. Of course, I was planning to cook dinner for 3 of us, but now we have 3 additional people that I have to feed. I told my son no problem at all. I could easily accommodate 3 more people because I know that I have a few tricks in my sleeve that I can pull out that will allow me to cook something very quickly before they arrive. One of this is that egg dish that Lee's mother Jan always cook when I stay at their home for dinner. During my cooking class, quite often people will ask me what will be a quick dish to add to the menu when you are in a hurry. This is exactly what I would recommend, this egg dish. So for that particular dinner, I cooked this egg dish with mushroom and scallions. I believe that I have made this point before. All my videos, all the dishes I cook is actually what we are going to eat. I do not stage my video at all, and the reason is that I want to show what it's really like cooking in an everyday basis. My goal is to demonstrate my fast cooking system, that how it can apply to an everyday situation. So for this dinner, I have about an hour from the time I walk into the kitchen to the time when they arrive for dinner. I have a couple of dishes already planned for dinner for ourselves. Now all I need to do is add 2 more dishes. Altogether, I cook 4 dishes. And both of these 2 additional dishes will only take me about 5 to 8 minutes to cook. I added this egg dish because this dish will only take about 2 to 3 minutes. The following is what I did on that particular day. I'm going to cook this dish with my Cuisine Art 14-inch stainless steel wok. It is very important that I season the stainless steel wok well using my spot seasoning method. If you are not familiar with this method, you can take a look at this video. After I heat up the wok, I add 2 tablespoons of canola oil, just enough to cover the bottom of the wok. I heat up the oil in high until it starts to smoke gently, and then I turn the heat setting to low. I let it to smoke for another 15 seconds. This is the time when the wok is being seasoned. This step is particularly important when you cook eggs because stainless steel wok do not season as well as other type of wok surfaces. So season it ahead of time before you cook the egg is vital to prevent the egg from sticking to the surface of the wok. For a long time, I used to crack the egg in a bowl and then I beat them up before I add them to the wok. However, over the past several years, I will crack the egg directly into the wok. As you can see here, I cracked 6 eggs into the wok directly. There are 2 reasons for me to do that. Of course, one of the reasons is that it's easier and more convenient. But more important reason is that I like the texture of the egg because by cracking the egg directly into the wok, the egg white will fry separately from the egg yolk, and that gives a very interesting and distinct texture to the egg. As you can see here, the egg whites fry very rapidly, and then I use my wok spatula to spread the egg yolk over the egg white. At this time, I start to turn the egg a little bit, and you can see that some of the egg actually stuck to the bottom of the wok, but it wasn't too bad. I can easily dislodge them with my wok spatula. I next add the mushroom to the wok. As you notice that I cut the mushroom into small chunks for the purpose of that so they can cook quickly. But at the same time, by having them in chunks, they are able to maintain their texture. This will keep the mushroom still relatively firm. And since my wife loves the texture of mushroom, this is how I cook them most of the time. I fold the egg over the mushroom to facilitate the cooking process. Next, I add about half cup of scallion to the wok. The scallion turned out to be great for garnish the dish. Now, the reason I add both the mushroom and the scallion in this particular case is because I have them in the refrigerator already prepped. Now, after I add the scallion, I add my basic seasoning to the wok. You can season the dish in many different ways. My basic seasoning is intended to enhance the natural flavor of the ingredients. You can take a look at this video and to find out what are the components in my basic seasoning mix. As you can tell, with a few quick stir, the dish is done. I then transfer the dish to the serving plate. The total cook time of this dish is only about 2.5 minutes. At this point, there are many possibilities to garnish this dish. I sometimes will garnish it with oyster sauce or with hoisin sauce. Once in a while, I also will add a hot sauce such as sriracha sauce. As you can tell, why this is such a good go-to dish, because it takes only a few minutes to cook a dish that are quite presentable and can serve as an excellent companion to other dishes as well. For a long time, I really don't have a name for this particular template. And only about 10 years ago, when my friend Tony told me that this is a traditional Cantonese dish, they call it a fuyang egg dish. Fuyang is the name for the flower hibiscus in Chinese. The reason they call fuyang egg dish is because the eggs are soft and fluffy and covering other ingredients. They are just like the petal of the fuyang flower. So I prepare a 4-course meal for this dinner with 3 additional dishes. It took me about an hour from the time I walk into the kitchen to have the meal ready on the table. Our visiting dinner party arrived a little bit late, so I have about 15 minutes to spare. Obviously, this egg dish is based on a simple template, and this template could be easily modified and adjust. You can increase the amount or reduce the amount, and you can alter the ingredients that based on what you have available as well as what your personal preference. I believe that this is a very valuable template for you to have in your repertoire. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like icon below because this will help me to expand my audience base. I'm posting my video regularly, usually about 1 each day. If you'd like to receive notifications of my future video postings, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you next time.